Hey, it's Ellie. Welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. So today I am doing, I guess I would say, my first official seasons build, even though it's not a full build. If you didn't get from the title, I'm remodeling the Spencer Kim Lewis house, which is a house in the original Sim base world. What the heck is that world called? It's not Windenburg. It's a different one. Whatever. Anyway. Cannot think of it. Yeah, so I'm building in a base world, remodeling a house, but I'm gonna say it's my first seasons build because the other apartment I did was so small and I barely got to use any of the actual seasons items because it was a Pride apartment from last week. If you want to look at it, just go check it out. But yeah, this is my first like real build with all the decorations for the actual seasons, which is why I'm calling it a seasons build. I decided to remodel the Spencer Kim Lewis house in winter, and here's something I didn't realize. I was going just through the world management menu to the build mode here, which is why it seems like it's summer, but when you actually go in and, play the family and then build, then it turns into winter. So I think halfway through the build, it's gonna turn into winter because I did this over several different days. I don't know why, I just kept stopping through this. I actually stopped this build to do the Pride apartment because I just wanted to. Anyway, I have to mention, I think, just one thing that I can remember about this build before I get into all my work stories, which there are a lot of this week. So, just wait a minute for that. But one thing I have to say is that I don't have the full house recorded for this video of me building it, and that is because there was a thunderstorm while I was building this, so I decided to just stop the recording and build it on my own. I was on like the last floor of the house, and I still had some landscaping to do outside, so I just stopped the recording because if I'm recording and the power goes out or something or anything happens to the video, it's like not recoverable. So I'm sure I could recover it if I tried hard enough, but I don't know. I don't really try hard enough, and it was just the end of the build, so I just turned it off because we were already having some power surges at that point, and I didn't feel like losing the video footage or my build. So, yeah. I was saving like every 5 minutes or so I didn't lose anything. But anyway, that thunderstorm is kind of a story in itself because it was so weird. After all the power surges, our internet ended up going out. And as it turns out, the internet went down for the entire street. Just one street, our street. And when I say the internet, I mean just the internet, not the power, which was so weird. I guess it hit the phone lines or wherever, the cable lines, wherever it comes into, but not the power lines somehow. Or, I don't know, maybe it fried something on the internet provider's end for our street specifically, but it was very strange. I thought maybe the power surge had ruined the router at one point because it seemed like everything was working, it just wasn't getting any data. So then we ended up calling the internet company, and they said, yes, it's down for the whole street. I don't know when it'll be fixed, so have fun, was basically their answer. And it took like 3 hours for them to get around and fix the internet, and I think it was fixed around 9 p.m., which isn't that late or anything, but they had said that they were gonna call us when the internet was back up, and then we never got a call, didn't think anything of it, but then they called the next morning at like 9 a.m. and they told us that our internet was back up just in case we wanted to know. And my fiance was already at work. I think I was at work too that day. I don't remember. Anyway, funny story. So yeah, that was the thunderstorm adventure of this week. And now I have a lot of work stories, I guess, because I don't think I have really much to say about the build, except for that I don't have myself recording like the last floor of the house, which is fine. There's plenty of other things to record. Plus, I didn't put any seasons decor up there. I used some of the dressers, but that's about it. So yeah, the work stories. Where do I even begin? There's so many. I guess I'll start with the most recent day. No, actually, this was last week, not the most recent day. But anyway, last week, I got so furious at the dog Jake. He's actually been really a nuisance lately, and I'm kind of worried that he's going to bite me because I have been, I don't want to say harsh, that's the wrong word, but I've been kind of putting my foot down with him, and he doesn't like it so much. I think he might bite me. Guys, if the dog bites me, I'm gonna go back to this video. What day is it? It's Friday. This video might be late, by the way, so yeah. If it is, it's gonna be on Saturday, and I'll probably put my parenthood video out today. But anyway, the dog. He was taking a nap, and the lady was taking a nap too. She was sitting in her chair in the family room. It's like a taller chair. It has like a big wide back, so she was just kind of sleeping, sitting up like that. And this dog wakes up randomly, completely randomly. Nobody was making any sort of sounds or anything. Walks over to the lady, sits at her feet, and just starts barking. I'm like, I was writing at the time, so I like start waving my notebook at the dog. I'm like, shut up, dog, what are you doing? Like trying to whisper. No, she woke up before he stopped barking. And so then she spends the next, like, I would say 5 to 10 minutes just being like, oh, Jake, what do you want, Jake? What do you need? Do you need something? And here's the reason that he came over to her and started barking. It's so infuriating. He wants to sit in her chair. Like, literally, that's the entire reason that he's trying to bark at her, so that she will get up and move. So at the end of her 10 minutes of what do you need, she says, do you want to sit here? And she stands up, and the dog immediately jumps in the chair and goes to sleep again. And I'm just so, I don't think I've ever been so annoyed at an animal in my entire life. It literally woke her up from her nap to get her to move so that that dog could sit on the chair. It's the most absurd thing that's ever happened, and she let it happen, and I just really want to yell at the dog that he's a dog and he can lay on the floor. There's no reason that he needs to steal his owner's chair while she's sleeping. I can't get over it still. It's the most ridiculous thing that's ever happened there, I have to say. As far as the dog goes, he's pretty ridiculous, and he does some really dumb and annoying things, like when he was trying to bite me because he had a plastic bag with a half a boiled egg in it. Yeah, that was a fun day too. I think I talked about that a little bit. But anyway, so that was just such a frustrating day, that one. And I think it was the day after that it ended up being about 95-ish degrees for the entire day, which is really hot. I think that's like over 30 Celsius. I don't remember exactly. I'm not going to do the math either right now, but it's really hot. And she chooses this day of all days to be very insistent that she wants to walk down to the cemetery, which is not far, really. It's like a reasonable walk on any normal day. But she wants to walk down to the cemetery on this particular day, which is hotter than any other day it's been in the past like 3 weeks, and it's supposed to cool down like to the next day after this. And so, but she insisted that we go to the cemetery so that she could visit her sister's grave, which, by the way, she didn't really even know where it was, which is kind of sad. So, yeah, that happened too. But anyway, she just decides that she's gonna walk down on this day, and I have to go with her because if I didn't go with her, she would wait until I was done with my workday and sneak off, like in between when somebody else was supposed to show up, and go by herself. And that's even worse than me just taking her down there. So yeah, I took her down there. It was so hot, and it was just a bad time the whole day. And she's walking in the middle of the road and almost walking like in front of cars, not in like a dangerous, the car is right there and she's gonna get hit kind of way, but we heard it coming from quite far back on the road, and she's like walking into the lane that the car is gonna drive into, and I'm like, no, you have to come on this side so the car doesn't hit us. Things are deteriorating very quickly, I have to say. Don't think I'll be doing this for all that much longer, because I don't think she'll be home for that much longer, to be honest. Anyway, that's the end of the build, so I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to give it a like and subscribe to my channel, because I post these videos every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Thanks for watching. I hope to see you in the next video. Until then, bye!